Hi everybody, this is Grandad Jack and I'm back to do another project today. And the thing I'd like to build today is a picnic table. So I thought you might like to see how I do that. They're not overly complicated and it's pretty easy. So if you want to come along with me, I'll show you how I build a picnic table. So this is treated pine that's green, straight out of a timber rack. It's 6 by 1.5 or 150 by 40. And this is what I'm going to use for the most of the whole table, both the top and also the base that it sits on, and it can also be used for the seating. So I clean it up with a brush and then I like to take the edges off with a hand planer. This just gives it a better look and stops the splinters from biting you. Once I've done this, I like to pick out the boards that don't have too many blemishes. This table will be 6 foot long or 1.8. And I'll just cut it so the bad areas or the bad knots can be cut out. There are just some pieces of the wood that you don't want on your picnic table, and this is one of them because the knots just don't work for a good tabletop. So I've cut it out. So I need 5 lengths of timber for the top. This gives me an overall width of about 750 mil. I like to leave a bit of a gap, so it will be a little bit more than that. Once I've picked the good side for the top, I then turn them all over and work from the underneath or the bottom of the table. I square the end of the table, or one end of the table, and then I just put 3x1 treated pine cross sections underneath that will support the tabletop. I screw these with 2-inch batten screws, or bugle screws as they're sometimes called. I'll be trimming the other end, or the end I'm doing now, with a saw just to cut it off square at that end. So I leave a little bit extra to be cut off. At this point, before I put the middle one on, I like to find the centre so I can drill a hole in there, a 38mm hole, so a picnic umbrella can be put through the hole in the middle of the table. So this middle support is offset enough to have the umbrella hole in the centre. When I drill the hole, I don't drill it all the way through, but I drill it enough so that the point of the drill just comes through to the other side. I then trim the edges with a power saw to make sure they're nice and even at each end. If you try drilling the picnic hole through in one go, it will splinter when it comes through. So that's why I drill it from both sides, so you don't get the splintering effect in the hole. I trim up the edges with the power planer, and then I can start on the legs. I've made a jig for this to make it easy to make them, and it's just a matter of cutting the timber so it can be held in place while I screw it all together. I've made the picnic table height around 700 millimeters, and which is pretty standard for a table height. Same with the height of the seat is around 400 mil. So now I've made two of these, I just simply stand them in place next to a piece of wood I've screwed on so that I can attach these to the table. I use 100mm batten screws or bugle screws for this. I like to pre-drill them so it's easy to screw them in, but I put 4 of these in so it's nice and secure. The beauty of doing it this way is I'm not actually screwing any screws through from the top. So from the top there are no screws that you can see. It's just a nice plain timber top without any visual screws showing. Once it's braced, I can then turn the table over and be able to now put the seats on. You can use 2 planks for the seat, but I've used one 250 by 50 mil tree to pine piece of timber, which is like a 10 by 2, and then I just plane the edges and screw that straight onto the picnic table frame. I use a hole expander here so that when I put the screws in, they are flush with the top of the timber. I do the same with the other side here and screw that to the frame, and basically the picnic table is pretty much finished. Just as a side note here on the table, I leave enough room so one person can sit at the end of the table, which is about 1 foot in room. So you can just slide in, there's enough room there for somebody to sit at the end and 1 or 2 people in the middle. So there you have it, that's my picnic table. Yep, it even holds me, that's a good one. Hope you enjoyed this video.